Looks like we have ourselves a Thoughtseize on the stack. Lightning Strike, Crater's Claws, a couple copies of Xenagos and Arbor Colossus are the choices. You see the Elvish Mystic in play off a Temple of Abandon and a Mountain out there, it looks like.
So, looks like Derek is, I mean, next draw step's going to be a big one. If it's an untapped land, his hand's great. And if not, he's got nothing going on.
Yeah, it looks like that's where we're at in the game here. And it looks like Schulz just playing a Temple of Silence on turn 1, casting a Thoughtseize here. And I presume we'll see a second land here in just a moment. There it is. It's a little bit of life gain. And we'll go back Thill's way. There's a Mountain right off the top. Here comes Xenagos. Can't cast that thing fast enough. Satyr token incoming.
I have to imagine Xenagos is pretty potent against Mardu.
Yeah, I think so. You know, Xenagos is in this interesting spot where it was a really good card in the last format for Green Monsters, taking care of Desecration Demon, being a really good threat against the control decks. Doesn't seem so potent in this format, not great against Abzan, seems to be very poor against Jeskai and Mantis Rider, but looks to be really good against Mardu.
Well, against Mardu and against blue-white control, it's still a very powerful source of card advantage, but as you mentioned, Abzan very good at blocking. Jeskai, you know, has Mantis Rider and Lightning Strike, sometimes even Searing Blood. These are not good cards for Xenagos. So
yeah.
The two primary decks, I don't think Xenagos lines up very well against, but a lot of the stuff hanging out on the fringes, Xenagos is still a very powerful Planeswalker.
We can't forget those are the two primary decks for now, too. Things could change.
Exactly.
Nomad Outpost. There's a Lightning Strike to take care of the Xenagos. I'm sure not an exchange that Donovan Schulz is happy to make, but an exchange that he has to make. A Temple of Abandon is a draw there for Thill. Thill's going to scry, take a look at the top card, and he'll consult the grip. You see his hand, Crater's Claws, along with a Lightning Strike and an Arbor Colossus top card will go to the bottom. So not the most impressive turn for Thill here.
Still, I'm sure he's happy to take land number 5.
Yeah.
And a third green source of mana for the Arbor Colossus.
There's an attack for 3, Schulz down to 13. Schulz will draw a card. There's a Battlefield Forge coming into play. See some burn spells over there. Number 2 overall seed, a little behind in this game. Rabble Master is typically a card that can catch you up in a hurry, but he knows his opponent has Lightning Strike.
I mean, what's Donovan's alternative play here? Just Lightning Striking the Elvis Mystic?
Not in love with that.
Exactly. I don't know. I know it's ugly to cast the Rabble Master here, but I don't think anything else is that productive.
Yeah, this is the thing I like to call just getting past the point in that game where it's like, okay, you have an answer for my creature, so I'll cast it and let's move on. You know?
All right, well, Donovan's going with the alternate plan here.
Gonna try to bottleneck his green mana, it looks like.
And even if Derek does draw green mana right away, Donovan has 3 cards in graveyard plus Murderous Cut in hand, so he can just take care of it.
Sark in the draw.
Paid off.
Yeah.
Immediately paid off.
Here's an attack for 2. Schulz is going to go down to 11, it looks like. Has to turn back. Well, Mountain's the draw.
Given the nature of Donovan's hand here, if Derek just casts a Sark in that last turn, game might be over.
There's the Rabble Master. That's going to get struck before a Goblin can come in. Schulz may play the Mountain in his hand. Looks like he's going to hold on to it, so just pass the turn back. Again, Murderous Cut at the ready. The draw's a Courser of Crewfix. Take a look at the top card.
Courser's nice given how slow the game is pacing up thus far.
Yeah. Elvish Mystic the draw. That's coming next turn. Here's an attack. We might see the cut here on the Courser. There we do. And what that's going to do is that's going to open up the Rabble Master now. Stormbreath Dragon was the draw. We're getting mighty interesting here.
Though Donovan still can't turn this game into a pure race, his life total is so low.
Yep.
He knows about a Crater's Claws as well.
Time for the Rabble. In for 1. Pass the turn back, still refusing to play that Mountain. Elvish Mystic, as we knew that was going to be the draw. So here that is. Crater's Claws is going to take down the Rabble Master. So the Goblin is just what's left over. Down to 7 goes Schulz.
Let's see if Donovan can get this turned around. He's taken so many early chip shots.
Well, he's got a Storm Breath in his hand. He drew a copy of Crackling Doom. So there's the mountain.
Yeah, 19-7. That's a tough gap to close up.
It is certainly a race, as there is an attack for 4. So now might be a little bit of chump blocking action here, but I agree with you. It does get a little bit ugly here, especially because we know about the Sarkin. Schulz does not, and now since 5 mana is available because of the Mystic, the draw is a Wooded Foothill, so 5 mana would have been available no matter what. We'll see if he goes with Colossus or Sarkin in this situation. Gonna start by sacrificing the Foothills. 4 Sword Mountain. Phil's choice, he'll go with the Forest.
If he goes with Arbor Colossus, this Crackling Doom that Donovan's picked up becomes exceptional.
Yes. Yes, it does. Maybe playing a Colossus thinking he can hold down the fort.
Thing is, I don't know if Derek wants to turn this into a game where both players are holding down the fort.
For me, I want to, in this spot, I want to be casting Sarkin just because it's a lethal attack.
And you're willing to send in the Elvish Mystic?
Oh, absolutely. Elvish Mystic doesn't really hold a lot of value anymore. He's got 3 green for Arbor Colossus. So, I mean, Sarkin, fire it up, attack with everybody. I imagine he's chump blocking my Satyr token.
Well, I don't know if there's a difference between being at 1 or being at 2.
Sure. He's actually going to play Sarkin at minus.
This is the other path. You know,
Okay.
this is much safer. Allows him to do this. Then Donovan needs to use a removal spell in the Elvish Mystic, and that might free up the Arbor Colossus.
Sure.
And still a position where Crater's Claws is likely to be lethal if Derek's able to find it. So it's a very conservative play, but I think I like it now looking at how the board looks.
You get a great look at Schultz's draw. It's another copy of Nomad Outpost. See where that Goblin token wants to go, if it wants to go anywhere at all. Last card in Schultz's hand right now is Crackling Doom. Looks like he's going to work his way into the Sarkin, or at least try.
What Derek did here is, if Donovan has the resources to get the Sarkin off the table, it likely means Derek's Arbor Colossus is freed up. If Donovan lacks the tools, the Sarkin just kills him.
Sure. Has to turn back.
So let's see if Derek makes a heads-up play here. He can play the Arbor Colossus first, then activate Sarkin, and that means that Crackling Doom no longer does anything.
Mm-hmm. Does miss that interaction. It's not one that comes up very often. Crackling Doom going to come in and take down the Sarkin here.
Yeah. It's a semi-edict.
Yeah.
It edicts, but you don't really get to choose.
Yep. So 2 damage to each opponent. Oh, that's actually a really creative play. So what he does is in response to the Sarkin activation, he casts Crackling Doom, and it forces Thill to sacrifice the Satyr token, and they'll deal 2 damage to the Sarkin.
Oh,
Which is
fancy.
way better, actually.
Yeah.
That's just way better.
Yep.
Rattlemaster's going to come in. The Goblin token is going to get eaten alive by Arbor Colossus. He, of course, has to block because it's a lethal attack.
I have not seen that.
I hadn't seen that
come up
before either.
Very solid play by Donovan.
And Donovan, Thill's last card is a Sylvan Caryatid. So if Donovan draws a removal spell, we are in draw-go territory here.
He's got a fair number of terrors.
Chain of the Rocks, Cackling Doom, what are you?
Magma Spray.
Not going to kill the 6-6. Derek Thill going to win this match over Donovan Schulz. 2-1. Green and Monsters will down Mardu mid-range. And that means that the Green and Monsters deck is going to be playing against Jeremy Bylander.